Hi, thanks for joining us today. My name's Jeff O'Mara, this is Cora, and we're ready to practice. Let's find a nice comfortable seat. Okay, you can have your legs crossed, you can be kneeling, whatever works for you. You just want to be able to find a nice long spine. Okay, reach through the crown of your head, find a place for your hands, let them be still. And then you can either let the eyes gently close. If you want to keep the eyes open, that's okay. Just drop your gaze down to the floor, relax your eyes. Okay, just observing our present moment experience, whatever we're experiencing inside. Okay, let's watch the movement of our breath. As you take an inhale, feel the breath drawn into the body. As you exhale, feel the body relax as it releases the breath. Okay, when you're taking an inhale, see if you can make it feel nice and expansive. See if you can feel your body open as you draw that breath deep down into the abdomen. As you exhale, see if you can just slowly release the breath and keep your mind on it. Watch it all the way out till it tapers, diminishes until there's eventually just stillness. Okay, now that we've got this connection to this complete breath, all we're going to try to do is we're going to try to stretch out that exhale so that's a little bit longer than the inhale. Okay? So the next time you take an exhale, see if you can just slow it down a little bit. Release that breath with a little bit of control. Watch it all the way out to the end. If you find a little stillness at the end of your exhale, see if you can just let yourself rest in that stillness. Don't rush into the next breath. A nice pause. Whenever the body tells you to take another breath, you follow it. You take the next breath. Okay, 2 or 3 more breaths like that, just focusing on drawing that exhale out nice and long. Stimulates the relaxation response in the body, in the mind. Perfect. Okay, from here you can blink your eyes back open if they're closed. We'll come into a seated twist. Very simple. Let's just take the right hand to our side or back behind, left hand across to your right knee. And then inhale, sit up nice and tall. As you exhale, keep that length in your spine. Just twist gently to the right. Okay, really great way to start. Just loosening up from the center of the body. Couple breaths here. Each time you inhale, lengthen. Each time you exhale, try to let go and just reach into the twist. Okay, making your way back to center, and then we'll move right into the other side. So the left hand comes beside or back behind, right hand comes across. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, just spin your way around to the left. Okay, keeping that fullness of the breath, keeping that nice long exhale. That extended exhale is telling the body to release, to relax, to open up a little bit more. Last breath. And then you can make your way back to center. Okay, let's just reach the legs out in front. Okay, you might shake out the legs for a minute. That might feel okay. All right, when you're ready now, take your right foot and just sweep it back behind so that your heel comes alongside your right hip. Okay, top of the foot resting against the floor, toes of that right foot spread out. Okay, right knee pointing straight forward. Okay, you might just take your hands to your sides to support you. For some of us, this is going to be enough. We're going to get a nice opening into the right thigh, quadricep. Right, it's this big powerful muscle here. So we want to take it nice and gently And like I said, for some of us, just coming to here is going to be plenty. And then we just come into the breath. That nice long exhale is going to tell this to start to relax, start to ease. If you want a little bit more sensation, you could drop down maybe onto one elbow. Okay, if things are still feeling okay here, you might drop down onto the other elbow. Okay, not rushing anything here. See how the thigh feels, see how it responds. Take it nice and slowly. Nice long exhales. If everything's feeling good for you, you could make your way down onto your back. Okay, but not forcing anything, not rushing anything. Come to a point that feels right for you. Breathe into that right thigh. Nice long exhales to let go. Okay, one more breath on this side. And then if you are down low, bring yourself back up. You can lean over onto your left hip and just allow that right leg to sweep back around in front. Okay, we'll switch to the other side. Lean to the right, sweep the left foot back, left heel coming towards that left hip, top of the foot to the floor. Okay, left knee should be pointing forward, maybe hands to the side. Again, sit up nice and tall. That might be enough to activate a nice stretch, a nice opening sensation in that left thigh. You know, the same options as we had on the other side. So if you wanted to, you might drop down onto an elbow. Test the water, see how that feels. Don't be afraid to shift the body around a little bit. Maybe onto both elbows, maybe all the way down onto your back. Okay, but don't force it. Okay, stay with your breath. Nice expansive inhales. You feel those sensations maybe intensify a little bit as you exhale. See if you can just let it fall away. Okay, one more breath to finish this side. And then you can roll to your right this time. Carefully let that left leg release out in front. And again, maybe take a second and just shake out the legs. Okay, and then lean over onto one hip. You can sweep your feet back behind. And we'll come to kneel. We're going to do camel pose. Okay, so we come up onto the knees. Okay, we'll take this in steps. Okay, I like to tuck the toes back underneath. That lifts my heels a little bit higher because we're going to be coming into a back bend, and we want to keep this nice and safe, always nice and safe. Okay, so if my heels are a little bit higher, I'm going to be reaching back. Easier to find my heel here than if it was way down here. Okay, so start here. We're going to do the right side, we'll do the left side, and then we'll see if we can come back through center if that feels okay. Okay, so what we want to do here is, let's start with the right hand on the lower back. Okay, inhale, sweep the left arm up, find that length. More than anything, lift up through the chest. Don't think about coming back into a back bend. That'll happen naturally if it's okay. More lift up through the chest, roll that right shoulder back. If everything feels okay, reach that hand back, maybe you find that right heel. Okay, keep lifting through the chest and rolling that right shoulder back. A nice full breath. When you're ready to come out from your center, take an inhale, pull your way back up. Okay, I like to set my hands down in front just to wiggle around a little bit to let it go. Yep, and then come on back up to kneel, up nice and high. We'll do the other side now. Okay, so a quarter turn to the left, you can take your hand to your lower back. Inhale, lengthen. Always lengthen. Lift through the chest. Roll that left shoulder back. Pretend you're on stage. Make it feel good, right? If it's okay, take that left hand back. Find your left heel. Stay with your breath. Okay? Opening up, challenging our balance, all kinds of things happening here. One more breath. Inhale, reach. When you're ready to make your way back up from your center, try to pull your way back up. Hands can come back down. Again, you might just let the spine round. Okay, shift the hips around a little bit. Okay, and now maybe we come to center. Okay, if you've had enough, then you can just stay in your kneeling pose. Okay, focus on your breath. If you want to try both, coming back at center, let's do this. You tuck those toes under. Maybe start with both hands on the lower back. Take an inhale. Roll both shoulders back. Lift through the chest. Okay, you can press into that lower back to really open the chest and lift the heart center up towards the ceiling. Okay, if everything's feeling okay, you might reach one hand back, reach the other hand back. Okay, got a nice steady foundation here. And then just stay with your breath. Inhale to lift the chest, open the chest, roll those shoulders back. See how expansive you can get with the breath. Beautiful. Don't overdo it. When it's time to come back up, maybe take one hand forward and then pull from your center. Come on back up. And again, you can set the hands down in front, wiggle it out, round through the spine. Okay, let's do this. Let's turn the tops of the feet down to the floor. And then we can sit all the way back into our child's pose. Rest the forehead down onto the floor. Again, take it nice and slow, nice and easy. Roll your back, releasing any tension it picked up. Okay, resting your forehead down to the floor. And just coming back to your breath. Breathe into the full length of your spine here. Feel the width of your back. Okay, and then we'll do just a simple pose here on the floor that feels really good to me. We're going to take the spine in the other direction now. Okay, we call this rabbit pose. Okay, so what we want to do here, we can start in our child's pose, sweep your hands back around to grab your heels, and then maybe walk the top of your head down onto the floor. You're resting that forehead to the floor. Maybe a couple more breaths here. Okay, breathing to the full length of the spine. Okay, and from here, you can release the heels. You can sweep your arms back around in front. Just come back to your child's pose. Find that stillness, effortlessness, just observing the breath. Okay, from here, spread the fingers out nice and wide. Feel the connection between the palms of your hands and the mat. Okay, that's the mindfulness, observing, perfect attention. How does the mat feel underneath your hands? When you're ready, come on up onto hands and knees. Okay, we'll make our way into downward facing dog. So tuck your toes under. When you're ready, press into the hands, lift the knees, lift the hips, press up and back. Okay, it might be good to start with a nice deep bend in the knees. Press into the hands, find that length in the arms all the way back through the spine. Okay, keep a nice steady breath here. Beautiful. Okay. So from here, when you're ready, we can shift everything forward into plank pose. Okay, so from your downward facing dog, as you take an inhale, just pull your chest forward and through, rolling the shoulders back, actually similar to our camel pose, right? Rolling the shoulders back, reaching forward through the center of the chest, shoulders over the wrists, reach through your heels. Okay, let's move between those two. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, press back into your downward facing dog. Moving with the breath, inhale takes us back forward to plank pose. Pull the chest forward, reach nice and long. As you exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. Okay, whatever pace feels good. Inhale takes you forward, exhale takes you back. You can take this nice and slowly, a nice controlled movement, or you can move a bit quicker, if that might feel good for you. Okay, maybe one or two more times. Don't lose your breath. Okay, and then the next time you come into your plank pose, let's hold for a second here. And then when you're ready, we can lower down. You can drop the knees if you like, keep the elbows into the side, lower your way down to the floor. Okay? We'll do some cobra pose here. Turn the tops of your feet to the floor. Hands can stay in the same position. And then pressing through the tops of the feet, nice and firm through the legs. Feel the quadriceps, what we were working on earlier, right? Feel that nice engagement there. As you take an inhale, lengthen, press through the tops of the feet, reach the crown of your head forward. As you roll the shoulders back, you might get some lift here. Try to keep the elbows hugging into your side. Keep pressing through the tops of your feet. Okay, nice steady breath. Okay, one more inhale. And then as you exhale, you can release down. Okay, you can make just a little pillow with your hands, stacking the hands, rest your forehead onto your hands, relax your legs, let the heels drop out. Take a breath or two to let go. Relax through your lower back. Okay, we'll do one more of those. Okay, so when you're ready, you can reposition your hands at your sides. Press through the tops of your feet. Okay, feel the shoulder blades activate on your back. Take an inhale, reach nice and long, and roll the shoulders back. Lifting on up into your cobra pose. You can keep this nice and small. Try not to depend too much on your hands, your arms, maybe even lifting palms off the floor. Okay, let's take one more breath. Inhale, reach through the center of your chest. And then as you exhale, you can release back down. Again, you might stack the hands, rest your forehead there. Let your heels fall out. Okay, just observe your stillness. Observe the movement of your breath. Okay, from here, you can set your hands at your side. We'll press back up to kneel. Okay? We're going to give side plank a try. Okay? So let me point out just a couple of things before we make our way into that. Okay? We can make this as challenging or as simple as we want. Side plank, we start with plank, and then we're going to be rotating to one arm. Okay? And then we open to the side. Now here's where we have the options. We can take this hand, we can keep it on the hip, we can float it up. Okay? Looking at the legs, we can keep the legs separate. That's going to give us a little bit more stability. If we wanted to, we could stack the top leg for a little bit more of a challenge. We could even drop that bottom knee down for some more stability, right? To give some support here. And then we really focus on lengthening. Okay? So, let's do that. From your kneeling position, you can send yourself forward, set your hands, fingers spread wide. Step one foot back, step the other foot back. So we're in our plank pose. Okay, we'll reach through the heels, use the legs, shift the weight over into the left arm. And then open your chest to the right. Take your right shoulder, roll it up towards the ceiling. Maybe float the arm or maybe keep it on your hip. Maybe keep the feet out wide, maybe stack that right leg on top. Reach through the soles of your feet. Reach through the crown of your head. If you want some more balance challenge, gaze up past that right hand. Take a breath or two. Whenever it's time for you to switch sides, rotate back, set the right hand down. If you need a break, drop your knees, or you can go right into the next side. Okay, this time, shift the weight to the right arm, roll open to the left, right? Hand to the hip, maybe float the arm, maybe stack the feet. Control that breath. Beautiful. That's it. Whenever you're ready to close up, set that left hand back down. Okay. And then let's drop the knees down. We can come into our child's pose to recover. Okay, sit back to the heels. Rest your forehead to the floor. Find some stillness. Watch the breath. Breath might be really choppy, a little bit erratic now, right? So you just give it enough space so that it can kind of find itself again. Okay. From here, we'll do one more back bend. Okay. So So from your child's pose, you might come back to hands and knees, and then you can lower yourself back down to the floor. Okay, we're gonna do bow pose here. Okay, so remember to take it easy. This one, you can rest your forehead to the floor, and then you can bend your knees to lift the feet. Okay, sweep one hand back, maybe find the tops of the feet or the ankles, sweep the other hand back. Okay, I like to take this one nice and slowly. Okay, so from here, you can start to kick into the hands. You can start to roll those shoulders back and reach through the chest like we've been doing. Okay, I start really small and I take a breath or two, see how it feels. I might relax a little bit to let it go, and then I might draw up into it again, and it still might not feel perfectly right. One of these times when I kick in, everything's going to find its place and it might feel okay, and I might stay. And I might stay with my breath. If everything feels good, I really roll the shoulders back and I might kick a little bit more. Don't overdo it. See what feels right. Whenever it's time to come out, you just gently release. Set those hands down in front again. You can rest the forehead to the floor. Let the heels fall out wide. Relax that low back. Okay. And then from here, let's just press into the hands. We can come on back to our child's pose again. Send the hips, wiggle them out a little bit. Breathe into the fullness of the back. See if you can breathe down all the way into your lower back. Use that breath. Beautiful. One more breath here. Okay. And then you can come back up onto hands and knees. Okay. Tuck your toes under. Lift up into your downward facing dog, and then you can walk your feet up in between your hands. Okay. We'll make our way back to the front of the mat in a forward fold. And then when you feel ready, bending into the knees, you can just carefully roll your way all the way up to stand. Make your way to the front of your mat if you're not there. Okay. Again, take a pause here. Enjoy your breath. Okay. Last standing pose here. We'll do dancer pose. Okay. So we've set ourselves up really well for this. Let's send our weight into the right leg, and then you might be able to lift that right foot and reach around, and again find the foot or find the ankle. Take an inhale, sweep the left arm up. Okay, switch sides there, Cora. There you go. Inhale to lengthen here, and then if you wanted to, you could start to hinge at your hips and reaching forward. You might kick into that hand, opening through the chest, roll that right shoulder back. Steady gaze, steady breath. Beautiful. Come on back up. Set that foot down. Walk it out maybe a little bit. Okay, other side. Right foot, press into the floor. Lift the left. Left hand finds the left foot or the left ankle. Inhale, sweep that right arm up. Really find that length first, and then tip. Hinge at the waist, reaching through the chest, roll that left shoulder back, and then maybe you kick into that left hand. Okay, nice steady gaze here. Beautiful. When it's time to come back up, perfect. Both feet to the floor, come back to the breath. Okay, and then let's make our way down to the floor. Okay. Back to our seated pose. Take a few moments of stillness. And then we get our Shavasana, our relaxation. Body still, hands still, gaze still. Observe your breath. Okay, you can make your way onto your back for Shavasana, final relaxation. Okay, arms comfortably away at your sides. Palms face up, those shoulders drop back. Relax the feet, let the feet drop out. Okay, physical body totally at rest. Mind at rest. Everything at rest. Just here as simply as you can be. Okay, so from here, connecting to your breath, deepening the inhale. Whenever you feel ready, a little bit of movement in the hands and the feet. Grow that towards the center, maybe reaching out through the arms, through the legs. Let your body take over, find whatever kind of stretching, twisting, lengthening feels good. Okay, and then you might draw the knees in towards your chest. And then roll over to one side. Press yourself back up to seated. All right. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. To close, let's just bring the palms of the hands back to the center of the chest one last time. Okay, with a nice wholehearted bow. Wishing yourself well, wishing everybody else well. Namaste.